That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me Fuck all that shit, just let me go. Owers and tastemakers make us no tracer. It's the blood flowing like a fucking pacemaker.
I am Tommy G. This is Stop the Point. Today we hear from you, the fans. I apologize yesterday. I would have kept it going. I wanted to have some adult time with my wife. And I promised her, and if I didn't, I even got the look. And that's what I wanted, and I got it.
The Poop Patrol.
Sounds German. I just had a meeting. Yeah, ride the Poke Patrol. I just had a meeting with the rest of Germany. We totally formally decided that Jay Aubrey, what?
Swan slut. I don't know.
I know it means dick something. Okay. You know, the thing is, I don't remember that whole Jay Aubrey. Everyone mentioned that Jay Aubrey ran to me, and I don't remember a bit of it. I don't know what I said. I'm not sure. I don't particularly like the guy. I think he's a big phony. I don't really care. I'm sure I'd probably watch it now and go, ooh. Yeah, Jay Aubrey. Fuck it. Big news breaking on the Aneesa story. Before we get into your calls, I think you'd want to be informed about this. Can you fire this over to me via Discord? Apparently, Chris Hansen bailed. No.
He bailed.
He just bailed, bitches. He's like, I'm out.
He really bailed. There you go.
He bailed so hard he had to ask the permission of the victim so he could use an excuse to get out of it. Oh my God.
They called him and told him no.
There we go. Oh fuck. I always forget that I have to do that shit.
Holla, get dollar.
Let's see. What does Mr. Medica say? The only thing you can rely on Tommy is him social distancing his pussy from his boyfriend's oh, sorry, Medica. Don't you have the apocalypse to go root for? Don't let me keep you from that, sir. Yes, I know he's fake. All right. Let me. Where's my fucking phone? I gotta log into my Twitter the right way. I hate doing this. It's a pain in the ass, but it's probably gonna.
Now that it's a problem,
if somebody gets in my Twitter, they're just gonna spam the N-word over and over again. I'm never gonna get it back. I don't know anybody. I need it for work. It's just that simple. It's not that
they're gonna pull the Deller mid Overwatch stream.
Yeah, tell her. Yeah. They're gonna just play that over and over again and at Jack. You know what I mean?
What do you think of this clip?
Yeah, what do you think of this? I really hate this though. I really it's not much fun. Which reminds me, fuck, that didn't work either.
Well,
that one did. Okay,
it worked.
Let's watch this fucker. I am what the fuck? I just logged in, you cunts. All right, fine. Unless I didn't log in. Let's try that again. All right, baseball. Sorry. All right, here we go. It's Chris Hansen. I've got something to say regarding the interview.
The really good news about pursuing predators for so many years is that you pretty much know what a predator is going to do and say before he says or does it. They live in a parallel universe where they hurl false allegations at their accusers, law enforcement, investigative journalists. They also get off on re-victimizing their vulnerable victims, such as the case with the YouTube psycho brat in Washington State. It's become clear to me now that there's no way to do an interview with him, at least at this point, without him trying to exploit a live version of that interview. Given that,
how could you exploit a live version? Now let me get this straight. Let me get this timeline straight. Okay, he started feeling cocky, right, and said, "Interview me now." After fucking, and
that's a lot of money, I guess.
I want to keep this in mind. Thank you, Banana Grabber. First, and I wasn't that impressed. Fucking Aneesa started running his fucking mouth and said, "Come on, I'll do an interview." Do I got the timeline right? And then Chris said no. And then he said, or no, Chris said, well, didn't you come on my show? And Aneesa said, I'll come on your show. And just to prove a point, no monetization. And then they came back and said, well, okay, no monetization, but you can't do it live. And
yeah,
now
we're gonna record it.
Now he's turning it down completely. Like, I'm sorry, that doesn't bode well.
Well, no, then Onision hit back. He was like, okay, we'll do it like that, but I'm also going to live stream it while we're doing it so they can see it without it being edited.
Honestly, I gotta stick up for this and this one because this is something I'd always said if the media went after me.
The fact that he's made animated videos where he blows his brains out and real videos where he
Wait, Chris is not in the same relaxed mood he usually is he?
exposes himself.
Look how red that
and
face
makes
is.
horrible statements targeting his victims. I don't think that's responsible. I don't think society in general needs to see it, and I don't think his victims in particular need to see it. In fact, his victims have come
This is such a cop-out. This is such a cop-out.
to me asking me not to do it. So in the meantime,
So I guess you're never going to talk about Aneesa again because it might offend them. Horseshit.
Onision just retweeted Nick.
Did he really?
Yeah,
It's a complete
it's
joke.
Nick's response to Chris.
You
That's
say a
on
live
screen.
debate wouldn't be fair on your show, really? You're so bad at your job, you need to be pre-recorded to find the truth. You have to take. I think it's like it's not even like that. I think Chris Hansen's a great interviewer. I think he, like me, realized halfway through that there's no evidence.
That's a lot of money,
So
I guess.
he lied
for
about
a
an
person of
FBI
color.
investigation. This is what I think. This is not what I know. There's no evidence to get. There's not enough to get this guy, a link at his wrist. But he knew he had to play up to this crazy new audience that he had. He lied to that audience, kind of promising them that their dreams would all come true by this guy getting locked up, and there just simply isn't enough evidence there. I've been suspicious for a good 2 months now. There's no FBI investigation. There's none.
You've been saying that, yes,
No, there's none.
on the show and behind
I mean,
the
he
scenes.
keeps saying, like, look, if it comes down to freaking kitty porn or she said she porn, porn and the laptop and all that other stuff. Yeah, I got what's going on. They've had it. Well, we don't even know how long they've had it. First Lakosha had it, then she had it. And I think she said she sent it, and then she said she sent it again recently. Coincidentally, right around the time when I was saying I didn't believe that she sent it in. Then she said it again, and that's when the whole fucking thing blew up with Nick. What a surprise! And now
they're coming after Nick.
Now he's not. Now he's not. Yeah, Nick's more of an enemy than Aneesa. Hey, it starts here, huh?
Yeah.
Somebody said that Nick ran on Aneesa page. Nick ran an illegal investigation. I mean, they're so stupid, and he realized that he had.
You're dealing with teenagers.
Yeah, he had a fish in a barrel here. I don't even think they're teenagers. I think these people are grown-ups.
Well,
and I think
grown-ups with the teenage mentality. We'll go with
probably
that.
Looked at this guy and says, "Oh God, I mean, this guy's he's a fish in a barrel," and it just might be he's really fucking weird and awful. And if he did mess with kids, there's just simply not enough evidence there.
time, it appears there will be no interview unless he can actually sit down and do a real interview where he actually answers to the allegations. And there are a lot of them. It's insane what he's been saying. It's hard to watch.
He's been saying he won't do it without money, and he's saying that he doesn't trust you to give him he wants something completely open. This is long-form entertainment. I mean, he's done everything live since he's been on YouTube. Everything you've done, Chris, everything you've done is live. All of a sudden you can't do something live because of him? Because of that idiot? And I know you're a damn good interviewer. I know you can take people apart. But here's the thing.
That's a lot of money, I guess,
You know
for
there's
a person
nothing
of
there.
color.
He's never getting arrested. And you promised these people he would. It's like beating your head against the wall of dead horses. Surprised the story's still coming around. Well, Aneesa made it interesting because he's like, don't sing it, bring it.
Let's go.
All of a sudden. Let's go.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's go. And then all of a sudden, the guy that's not accused of sexual assault's got all the conditions. The accuser's got all the conditions. And then he might go on and hurt the alleged victims, by the way, Chris. The alleged victims. He might go on and hurt them. Well, you didn't mind talking about this shit. There's nothing here. There's nothing there. I was right. Sorry. It was right before everybody else was, too. God, I couldn't even get Nick to fucking listen to the research. I mean, when I was doing the Aneesa videos back in January, right? Nick was not even involved in any of the conversations. He was completely uninterested in it. Now he's almost the focal point. That's too fucking funny. All right, we got people loading up in there. All right,
we got one.
If you want to talk about Idubbbz, feel free. That's all I got. That's what I'm bringing you. There's nothing there. Here's my position on it. I don't think Idubbbz is a cock or a simp or anything like that. I personally don't. I don't even think what he did was all that bad. I think he just did one of the worst PR jobs in YouTube history. It was worse than a bad apology video. I think he did it out of emotion. I think he absolutely loves this girl and doesn't want to see it. When you love somebody, you don't like see him, say bad things about him. I'm sure he didn't give a fuck about the jokes. If you remember early on, he made a crack about himself in this on Twitter. But I think he feels they're attacking her. He took up the White Knight mantle and was struck down by the Black Knight. The Black Knight being the internet.
Yeah. That was my whole thing. I didn't have an issue with it.
I don't even talk about my girlfriend that way anyway. I don't care if she's got news. I wouldn't want to talk. I get it, but it was just, and here's another thing about Aneesa. Is that her name?
Yeah.
All right. I'm probably getting an Idubbbz on it anyway. I'm just going to be honest. I've done a little more research on Aneesa, some of her past statements, like the one on the Holocaust.
The one that everybody seems to be forgetting about.
Like, I was watching it with Wall. It's like, this Turkey Tom's girlfriend? I mean, no, it's, no, it's not. And I was just like, that's an urban legend, by the way, I'm pretty sure. They didn't learn anything from torturing Jews over here. Nothing. They learned not a thing. I know Boogie said something like that too. I used to hear that when I was a kid. Well, they did horrible things, but they found all this neat stuff and those breakthrough in medical. What? Name one thing. I don't know, but I heard it was a breakthrough. Yeah, that she fell for that one. It doesn't make it any better that she's half an Arab. So yeah. So I mean, you have that, and then I watched some of the stuff that with Brittany Vendney, which of course pretty virus. And some of the interactions, the way she speaks to people, I've come to this conclusion. Like I said, I'm never going to Idubbbz on. I still love Idubbbz. I cannot understand why she even has a little bit of a social media career. You have to be somewhat likable, and she is one of the most unlikable women on the internet, and I can see that now. I know one person that had a good experience with her. I could say it if it's good, right? Dead on Dave.
Yeah.
Dave said he liked her, and he gave me all these great. And I've got nothing. But I got a bunch of horror stories, and if you watch her and the things she says and the way she acts, and she does act like she's above everybody, I thought the Brittany Vendney video was like just kind of mean, which I mean I don't really know a problem.
Oh, she went for the throat. Straight up.
Yeah, Brittany. There you go. I mean, well, when she went to the throat so hard, I didn't care if she was a bad person or not. That's how it caught me. That's it. But, it just, the way she carries herself, the only indication I ever got that she was a little bit wacky was the thing with, you're a loser, gross score.
Yep.
Said it right here. Loser. Look at your snotty face. All right, I love that. Man.
We don't care about your shit excuses. You're a loser.
A loser.
Loser.
Yeah, that was a little weird. But yeah, I mean, look. I almost admire him sticking up for her. He just didn't know what to do but she has to be. There's just no joy in those eyes. You know what I mean? There's no joy in those eyes. I mean, I wouldn't say she was ugly, but she's not hot. You don't necessarily have to be a hot chick to be on Twitch. You just, play video games, look half decent, and have a decent personality. Be able to interact with people. You don't even have to look like Alinity or a Pokemon to make a living. They're just the top, the top of the heat. Pokemon's fucking fine. So
they stay in the cycle.
So, yeah,
everybody talks about it.
She won the fucking sperm lottery there, And it's just like, but you can be a regular, kind of gamer chick and pull this off. But I mean, there's just nothing there. There's no talent. There's a nasty personality. There is hypocrisy. Apparently, she's gone after women before. She's gone after people's relationships before, like with Gross War. She's gone after e-girls before. And worst of all, she's gone after OnlyFans before. There is, from what I can see.
What was that tweet?
Not what I know, just in the off-chance chance that Idubbbz would ever come on here. She is one of the most unlikable women I have ever come across in this, after actually doing some research, because I never really paid too much attention to her otherwise. And I think that's
almost everybody you ask about her, they'll say the same thing.
The same thing. Like this is what it boils down to. And I'm not gonna be like one of these assholes. Break up with her then. Think of your career. Fuck that. You love her. You stick it through. You do what you got to do. Love's a strong thing. I identify because my ex-wife wasn't liked in some of the circles I ran in the Army and stuff like that, and I couldn't understand it because she was the most beautiful, wonderful thing in the world to me. That's my Scarlet Queen, with her beautiful red hair and her funny laugh and what have you. And not only did a lot of my friends hate her guts, but couldn't say anything because of me. Apparently, she hated my guts because she divorced me right afterwards. So, but I know what my point is. I know what that feels like, to have somebody you really care about, and just everybody hates her guts, and it's just they can't be honest about with you. Vault bottom of the barrel.
Could you
this
imagine?
New subscriber.
Jesus.
That's why we left them off today.
Could you imagine though, if your friends were just jerking off behind your back to your girl, and you were just like, "Yeah, that's cool. I don't care."
But what if you're like Axl Rose in the 80s, and then your girlfriend's like an ex-model? They're jerking off. Like, that's what I think happened there. You can't go up and say, "I don't care if people jerk off to my wife. Fuck it. Have a blast." You can't do it. That's how it came off. Basically, what he was trying to do is like, look, I know this is going on, and I'm going to say it out loud to show you how much it doesn't bother me. Right? Because it can't bother you if your girlfriend's an e-personality or everything. But it's like Nick says, they switch. Like, this is a girl who kind of became a titty girl. This is a girl next door that became a titty girl. This is not, one of Adam 22's girlfriends. It's a big thing. Nobody gives a shit about him. So it's just people.
It's like
weird
you can
about
do
that.
whatever you want, but at the
I
end of the
agree
day,
with
he
everything Nick
posted
said.
cringe.
There's two things going on here, and Augie kind of proved that. There's two different. There's people that are kind of in it for the memes and just think it's funny, and I got no problem with that, and Idubbbz that. And there are these people, and he is right about this. This is not a straw man, that are just way too fucking emotionally invested in this guy's relationship and hating her. Okay, there's both elements of that. The problem is, when he made this video, he insulted both of those crews, the ones that were making jokes, that were his fans, the simp joke makers, and the people that actually gave a shit about him. Like that guy that called in here yesterday. And there's all sorts of different extreme examples of him. He was on the low end of the spectrum as far as extreme. Guy called in yesterday. He said, I think he's in a toxic relationship. It's none of your fucking business, man. But when you go public, like that guy said to me yesterday, he goes, you go public, you made it everybody's business. And he did. He made it everybody's business to kind of debate and put on shot from the point. And whatever, man. Whatever. I still love Idubbbz. I am not unsubbing. That guy's a comedic genius. I think anybody who does, because you could see a picture of his nipple-covered girlfriend's titties. That's all right. Just do me a favor. When you invite me to your wedding, let me pick out your wife's burqa. All right. I mean, come on, calm the fuck down. But I'm gonna take your calls right now, and I'm gonna listen to all sides, whatever side you fall on. You don't have to fall on mine, and tell me why I'm wrong, or I'll just hear you out. All right. Here we go. Vigorous Venom, you're on the air.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, what do you got for me?
I just wanted to give my opinion on the whole.
Shoot. Shoot,
I
sir.
I think I agree with Charlie's opinion. If you didn't see
No, I didn't get to see. I watched Kyle.
Yeah, Critical made a pretty good video.
critical.
Like,
it's
it's sort of
short,
a
too.
OnlyFans is pretty much a second Instagram account, like he said. So like the whole selling her nudes thing, like I don't even think she had any nude photos on her.
She did, but they just cover her titties.
Yeah, she had one video or one picture on her Twitter that had her tits out just to show off her new implants or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And
See,
that
like,
was,
I don't know. Some people really. I'm gonna
that's
try to
whatever.
play devil's advocate here. Some people think they really think that makes the girl more of a slut, less desirable, and that makes the guy somehow weak. Yeah.
I think I can see both sides of the argument, really. Like,
I
can
mean,
see
one of the
whole-
arguments is just dumb. Like, get over yourself. And I think the other one
Like,
is just people that were memeing Idubbbz, and it just to them, and he could dish it out, but he couldn't take it. I think that's all that's going on here. Like, take somebody like Augie's like a perfect example. He didn't care, but he did that. And then you take that and the statements like, I don't care if guys jerk off over her. Well, I get where he's coming from. He's basically trying to say, I know what comes with this, and I'm going to say it out loud so you are 100% clear what I know is coming. And then so he verbalizes it and gives it a picture in everybody's head that nobody wants to see. And it just makes him look awful because he's cultivated a fan base of these guys that fucking have trouble with women and think that everything that's wrong with their relationships is because of them and not because of women and not them. And that's a lot of people on the internet. It's a lot of people that I've dealt with. That's why Love Phones is so successful here for so long. Because nobody sits down with 15, 16, 17, 18, in some cases 19 and 20-year-old guys and say, open your mouth and talk, and if you get rejected, you get rejected. That's a part of life. They don't have those talks. So dad doesn't have talks like that anymore. So it creates these sort of angry fucking virgin sort of holy roller type judgment dudes when it comes to women's sex and sexuality. It's like, I've never seen anything. We literally went back in time. But unfortunately, that's a big part of his fan base, whether he likes it or not. I have a very libertine view on this too. But guess what? Most people find my view, at least in this social media sphere, as being like wild. But go ahead. You were gonna say?
Yeah, well, I mean, people invest themselves way too much into YouTubers as well. Like,
It's true.
it's like you can like a YouTuber, you can agree and disagree with them, but like going out of your way to just absolutely like not enjoy the guy's content anymore, saying he's a simp, this whole thing, like,
Oh, that seems crazy.
it's just
But
it's just
I'm
overkill.
gonna tell you something. You need those guys to love you. You need a certain amount of people that love you, and you need to make them think that you love them back. At very least, if you don't actually love them back. Let me give you an example. Like, I could write that I'm sick or not feeling well or I'm depressed, and I'm literally gonna have like 150 people, including YouTubers, reach out to me and try to help me out. Yeah. And lucky for me, I don't get off on that kind of attention. A lot of people do. So you need those fans that actually care about your well-being, even though they probably shouldn't. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
You need those. If you want to be a pro, you're gonna have to people like. I mean, look, and I don't look down at any of my fans, right? The only time you come at me and give me your personal life, and you could, if you think you know me, you think you know me. Okay, fair enough. That's cool, right? The only thing I go is stay with my family. That's it. That's the one border I have. Don't talk about my kids or anything like that any more than you should be talking about somebody else's kids. Like, your daughter is beautiful. Your son has big, beautiful eyes. That's all I want to fucking hear. But yeah, it's just like you when you're talking to people, when you're talking to a crowd, you have to give the impression that you're talking to them. And I think Idubbbz forgot he was talking to individuals.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to do it. Yes, there's a certain line between fandom and entertainer, right? But it can't be like you can't tell a fucking huge part of your fucking audience to go fuck and get a life. You can't do it. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
All right, bud, let me get the other callers.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
See ya.
Good call, man. Let's put in N-word. Is that the real N-word?
You.
Yes, it is. Where are you?
What up, brother?
Where are you? Where are you? You're home from school. I haven't talked to you since 2017, I think.
I know. It's because of the quarantine. I'm so bored that I called into Tommy Callahan's show.
Yes.
That's a lot of
Still
money,
can't
I
say
guess,
that anyway.
for a person
Thank you
of
so much
color.
for reading these at the end. N-word is famous for pissing off the high school football player because he fucked his girlfriend. And
Yes.
called in here and said,
In my
you
glory
asked me
days.
if you thought that he was going to beat you senseless, right? And I said, you're in trouble, and he put you in the hospital. Am I correct?
Yes, and that is exactly what happened.
No, that wasn't funny, but I think it's funny that I remembered. So what's that? You've been in college? Wait, first of all, talk about this thing. Where are you at?
Talk about what thing?
What do you mean what thing? You can't just call in here. We got a big show today. I'll throw
No,
you right the
I'm
fuck
sorry.
out.
I'm so high right now. But okay, go ahead.
How are you high? Where are you going to school? You're not going to military school, are you?
No, I'm in high school still. I stayed back twice. Remember?
You stay back. How old are you? 20?
19.
That's gotta suck. Why don't you fucking not stay back?
I was fucking bitches and getting money. Feel me?
Yeah. How's that working for you now? You're 19, fucking a senior in high school, and you're not going to graduate this year because of the virus. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean,
it's
I'm
like
gonna graduate
Groundhog
online
Day,
school.
but for graduation. How about that?
I'm gonna graduate online school.
Yeah. Online school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that'd be the new thing. After all, we're gonna all talk to each other. All right, I got to do a show. You need to get in touch. I'll pull you back up if you have something to say. Peace.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Learn a lesson. Riddler, you're on the air.
Oh, hello.
Hello there.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey.
So first of all, I would like to congratulate you for getting the real N-word on the show. I know he's a really big celebrity. It must be really important.
Talk about what's going on.
Getting the real N-word on the show. I know he's
Turn that shit off.
God.
Oh, sorry. I'm watching the stream. So, hey, Tommy, what's up?
How can I help you? Hello.
Hey,
How can
Tommy, what's up? Sorry if the sound was going off. I was
It's
watching
fine.
the stream.
You're on the air. What's up?
So coming before I say anything and listening to the Idubbbz thing, I want to say that there's a difference between me there's difference between people idolizing him and people respecting his content. More or less, I'm on the side of I respect him as an artist and as a content creator more than just as people are going overboard with it and stuff and being so over exaggerating about the situation and such. But recently, I made a video talking about the situation about and I was going against the grain of what the mob mentality would like to go say and such. But this whole situation on both sides is kind of irrational, if I would like to say that, because you have on one end people are acting so overreacting about they're falling out well shit Idubbbz did this thing, man. I can't respect
what
him
side
anymore.
what side of the yard I'm having a little trouble here. What side of the yard do you fall on?
I just fall on the side where it's
That's a lot of money, I
let
guess,
the
for a person
let the
of
guy
color.
do him type thing. It's it's not really that much of a big deal per se and stuff, because I mostly agree with him and stuff, and I disagree with the people who are just branding him as a simp, because that's a very myopic mindset on them and stuff. Because if they're not gonna listen to the other side of the other point of view and just keep calling him a simp, then what's the point of fucking listening, kind of a thing?
I don't know.
What's the point of taking them seriously?
You said something to say.
What?
Did you have something to say?
For example, it's if we'll say this: if Idubbbz right now is being branded as a simp, right, and people are just just branding him, just labeling him as a simp. Like, there's a difference between like not listening to him and just like playing it off.
I can see why your video me did so shit, my dude.
Hey Augie, what's up? Nice
Yeah,
to
what's the deal with that video you put out, my dude?
Hey Augie, what's up?
Yeah, you should learn how to speak before you do a video. I'm just telling you that right
Damn.
now.
It sounds like someone's a bit
Do you like
salty.
know this guy?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Ah,
I'm
dude.
so salty here when your video couldn't even get over 50% in the likes.
Like,
Hey, Tommy, this is literally the first time I'm ever talking to Augie
did you
in
like
a call
not
right
getting
now.
enough likes?
Like.
Leave a like, by the way.
Was this the guy that made the video on you?
Oh shit, you know! Hell yeah!
You made the video on Augie? Like that he was a fascist?
No. He's a different one,
Oh,
Tommy.
you did one?
A fascist? What?
No, all right.
Yeah.
Wait, who was the one who made
What's up?
the
Like,
video
what did you
on Augie?
disagree with, though? What did you just? I couldn't get through your video. I just want to talk to you right now. What did you disagree with?
You can't even get through the fucking video and yet you want to debate? Okay, gamer.
Well, what'd you disagree with? Tell me.
I disagree with the fact that, like, for the simple fact that, like, you're not listening to the argument and such and just labeled the brand.
What argument?
What are you?
For one example, you want to pull up the video and, like, go through it right
No,
now?
just tell me.
Okay, so you don't want to
I
go
want
through
you
it
to like
right now?
explain yourself.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in watching your video. Just tell me what your points are. If you have such a strong like if you have such a strong argument, then maybe you should have it off the top of your head, buddy. You made the video like this morning.
No, it was yesterday, but okay, gamer.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's time to
All right, like guys,
Hell yeah.
I'll talk to you later, man. We got like a lot of
all
calls.
right.
Talk to you later.
All right, talk to you later, Tommy.
Peace. Nice to meet you. Bye.
Like, have a good day.
Sorry, Bob. I just wanted to freak him out a little.
Ah, it's okay. That Lidge boy, you're on the air. Like, bye. The guy's an epic gamer for sure. Rex, you are on the air. 3.
Yo, what's up?
You tell me, brother.
So, my whole thing on the Idubbbz stuff is like, I think people are allowed to disagree with Idubbbz and say, yeah, some of the points he made in his latest response video, or most of them, I should say, weren't really that great.
Nope.
Such as the one where he said, like, sex workers, if you're a sex worker, then it doesn't affect your jobs later on, the stuff you apply for in the long run, which is obviously not true because...
See, no, that's not true, but here's the thing about that. You know, he didn't explain himself. I'm pretty. See, I watched that video. I know what he's trying to say. He just did a bad job. She's not going into a regular job. She's not going to become a school teacher. That's never going to happen.
Course.
She will be in social media where this will not matter one iota. You know, and it's just he probably resented. And I resent it too. A Tuesday's little like comment. Like it's so funny. We got this long-haired pot-smoking dude saying you might not get a job in the future. Like he's fucking my dad. My dad is a boomer. Like he's a baby boomer. You know, like he sounds like my father for fuck's sake. Like who are you, kid? You know, and I'm like,
I mean,
you know, so it's
let's be honest. Most professionals' jobs probably don't want someone who has that kind of history with them.
No, maybe not. Like I showed my boobies once, and a thing. You know, I tell you something. You might have if you could prove they got rid of you because of that, you might have a lawsuit in your hand. But yeah, you could if you got rid. I don't know if that's like I did. I don't know. I did some you know nudes. You know, I took pictures of my body. And I sold them. You can legally keep somebody from their job like that. But you know how that shit goes. Once they find out, they find out. But she's never going into a normal. You know, as long as she's with him, and probably even if she leaves him, she's never going to be in the normal workforce. So it was just kind of weird coming from a Tuesday, Mr. You know, happy-go-lucky pot smoker, travel the world type of guy. You know,
I think this is one of those situations where there's wrongs on both sides.
I would agree. I think you're right.
Yeah. I think Idubbbz would have been better off if he didn't make the video at all. If he didn't make the video at all, I think this drama would have died down after a week or two.
God, it was already dead. It was already dead. I think.
I mean,
two things happened. Either his old lady jumped in his ass, which I don't know her well enough to say that, or he wanted to stick up for the person he loves. and he didn't think it through. That's all.
Cock.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. How's
Yeah, no, I don't know.
How's your girlfriend,
but then you
Augie?
have these
How's
people
your
on
girl-
Twitter.
Rex, I have
who-
to interrupt you. How's your girlfriend, Augie?
yeah,
How's she doing? Tell her I said hello.
No, she's doing great, Tommy. What are you
Bobex-
talking about? My wife's
Bobex has
boyfriend
more
is doing amazing.
Bobex has more girlfriends than you.
Yeah, it doesn't count if it's on Discord, all right?
Right.
You have to flip on your webcam. It doesn't count.
Or Twitch.
Okay, Rex, go ahead. I apologize.
No. Don't worry about it. So anyway, the part where, I mean, you have these people on Twitter going overboard about the situation too, where there's like people going reply after reply, just getting butthurt over the
I don't know
situation.
how you get butthurt
And I'm
over
just
it.
like,
Fuck.
you're kind of spending too much energy on this situation. It's like, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, you see what I
at
said
this point,
before.
you know?
He
What?
was going after these loser cuck guys. These guys are like, he was going after these guys that are just like way too into him. They have way too much invested in him emotionally about his relationships and his views on women and sex.
But they don't.
They have,
You
but
see-
he ended up insulting everybody. He ended up like Augie's just fucking off, right? He ended up insulting
Yeah.
the Augie fan and the guy that called us yesterday when Augie was on here. He got them both.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then
I
that's a minus 33,
I think that
33K. You
yeah.
know?
Yeah. That wasn't exactly a very good take on that either. That's kind of a yikes, honestly.
What do you mean the yikes? Well, yeah.
The Idubbbz's sort of take on some of that, where he like kind of took some people's points.
Yeah, it's a bad video all around. I'm sticking up for him the best
I
can.
It was kind of a rushed
You know
video.
what happens?
He shouldn't have made the
His
video
fans
at all, honestly.
are 15 to about 18 or 19, 20, and they're uptight about girls. And he lost that somewhere. He probably feels when he said all those weird things about chicks, like slut, whore. She probably got to the point, and I was in my late 20s when I got into that point. He's 29, about to be 30. I was about 28. I think it was when I came here, and I was, is this? You're a slut because you had some sex. You're a slut because you did this or that. You're a slut. You're less than a person. You're a bad woman. It's like when you get to your late 20s, you're like, I bet I would have met more chicks if I didn't hold chicks up to that high a standard. And I think that's where he is in his life right now. Girls are
maybe
fucking no better
I don't
or
know.
worse than you.
We don't know for sure though.
No, we don't. But I guarantee you all fucking experience it when you're pushing 30 and you stop fucking holding, stop treating women like they're fucking space creatures and start treating them like human beings. And by that I'm not making some
Yeah,
kind of
I mean,
feminist
in his defense, I mean, I sort of like one of the things he said where he's like, I think that this OnlyFans stuff is cool. That was kind of a weird way of putting it.
Yeah.
But I understand. I understand what he was trying to
agree.
say.
We actually
Like, I
agree with
understand
each
the
other.
message he was trying to put out
I
there.
believe in the message he was trying to say. I don't necessarily disagree with it. His execution was just horrendous, and what's kind of
It made him look pretty bad.
Yeah, worse. And on top of that, like, it's Idubbbz. Nobody's better than him. So to me, this is an emotional outburst over people making fun of his girl.
And then when he started, like, I think towards the end of the video, when I was at the end of the video, like, he started like giving like a roadmap of what videos he was gonna upload, and I was thinking to myself, how do you come back from this?
You wait about 6 months and you do a squirrel video. He'll know what to do. I think he'll come back from this fine.
Say that again?
Unless he doubles down on this, and he won't. I don't think he will. He's gonna be just fine because he's talented and he knows how to make people laugh.
Yeah, I'm gonna still say I'm gonna stay sub to him.
Yeah,
like overall.
He's like why would you unsub just because he fucking gave a bad video about his fucking girl? I don't know. I mean, some people would. You've got to feel. You have to think these girls are sluts like I do. God damn. I mean, I get why he's angry with that portion of his fan base. You just can't tell them that. I couldn't do that.
I'm still gonna watch his content to see where what he has in plan, because I've watched him for a while, and you did say it yourself. He's a comedic genius. So
Right. I think he's fantastic. Let this be a lesson for all of you. I'm just speaking to you. If you believe for a second that you can be 100% honest on this platform, and I include myself in this, I think I'm pretty good, but nobody can be 100% honest. Because I think that was him just being as fucking raw, as honest as he can. He probably thought, well, I've been pretty much like that my whole career. then this will, this will happen. And
Part
it's just
of it could also be like that not a lot of people like change, and I think it's safe to say that Idubbbz has changed over the years. I think it's safe to say that. And part of it could be that some people just don't like.
I remember when the
new
Black
canon.
Album came out from Metallica. I'm like, this isn't the Metallica I grew up with in the 80s. This is different. This is not like Master of Puppets. This isn't like Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All. This is like MTV shit. Off to Never Land. All right, get out of here, man. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
But Tommy, we haven't even talked about who was more invested in this situation than anybody.
Who's that? Oh,
everybody's favorite gamer.
Yeah, we'll get to. I got people in here. I'm gonna talk to them. Shadow Ninja. I think I played that game.
Hey, what's good, everybody?
You tell me.
What
How
to
can I
do?
help you, Shadow Ninja?
So, anyhow, let me just say that the whole Rain guy, whatever the fuck his name is a simp. Also, secondly, when it comes to the whole Idubbbz situation, honestly, he just showed his insecurity, which made the internet just go fucking haywire.
What
because
you talking about? Like, what insecurity specifically are you talking about?
That's a lot of money, I guess, for a person of color.
Basically addressing the situation at hand here. Like, at the first half of his video, right, I was just like, okay, whatever. And then when he responded to, the fucking incels or people calling him a cuck and all that, and he was trying to joke this one out, and I get that, but it just kind of gave me that reminiscence to that Leafy video.
But you said there's an insecurity here. Okay.
There's a little bit.
But what insecurities? Because I got to be honest, to me it looked like he was trying to stick up for his girlfriend. I mean, is he?
Oh yeah, no, he is, but at the same time, I feel like
what was the insecurity? What was he insecure about? Is he insecure about his girlfriend being called a bunch of names on the internet? Well, is that an insecurity, or is that just like everybody would feel that way? I mean, who could be detached?
Good point. Good point.
Girl?
Actually, no, I
have
to say,
and how can it be healthy? How can it be healthy to be detached if your girlfriend's getting a business online? This is the reason my wife will never be online. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really think he's insecure.
Okay, fair point. Fair point. But the thing is, right?
We all have bad days. We all have bad days, man. I've had them before too, and I've had them right on here.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah, it's funny. It's a clusterfuck, and I have to say, a lot of people that are going after Idubbbz and calling him a cuck or a simp and all that, there's a multitude of reasons behind it. And the way people on Twitter handle this, and it's really funny because the fucking leftoids on Twitter just goes on about, like, look how based he is. He's talking about sex work and shit. Yeah. Like, okay, whatever. But no, the reason why people online, from what I see, it's people are going after Idubbbz. It's not the fact that, Aneesa got a new pair of tits from him. No, it's the fact that she's been talking shit behind his fucking back for years without him knowing completely what's going on. I don't know. And
I don't know either.
100%. But like, you're seeing, like, this is only the first wave of autism that's just coming in, and you're seeing more and more like screenshots, leaks coming out from what she has done in the past.
She does not seem like a very nice person. I give you that, and I do think that there's an element of.
If anything, like it's kind of, it's just sad because it kind of looks like Ian might be a little more of a victim here. I don't know. Like, I don't know 100% because we only see just,
nobody knows.
The first part of the situation, because right now with the amount of autism, and now we have coronavirus and all that shit, more people are just gonna find more information on her and all the bullshit that that's been happening. And at the end of the day, like, you could do whatever the fuck you want. Like, it's like, I'm not gonna hop on his fucking cock for crying out loud. But what it looks like to me, it's like, shit, dude. This is all fucking autistic.
Yeah.
God dang.
Yeah, everybody has a bad day. All right, man. Thanks for calling. I do appreciate it, man.
All right,
Okay, here we go. Rot U189. You're on the air. 3, 2, 1. You're not. Mr. Maybe, you're on the air.
Oh, hello.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah,
Hello.
used to watch since 2016, but I guess I've never called before. I was wondering, what were you like? What's your
My takes in the last episode? You could get a pretty clear take in the last episode. You got to also turn the stream off. I don't want to hear my voice.
I was wondering. Okay, sorry about that.
You're listening to
I
yourself?
was wondering, what are your thoughts on what's your full character assessment of sorts on Aneesa or Idubbbz girlfriend? Whatever her
I
name
tell you
is?
something. I don't know her, right? I have heard horrible things about her for the past 4 years, ever since I've been doing this. All right.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, I've just heard the worst. There's not too much online where I can say, wow, she's really a talented, funny, misunderstood entertainer. I think that girl that has that really dry sense of humor, I don't know, maybe Doc will remember her name, the one that says, you got to start fucking donating.
Oh, Bad Bunny.
Which is actually Bad Bunny's kind. Apparently that's an act. That's her act, and her fans know that. But the commentary community sees that and they see dollar signs. She doesn't even have that quality from what I can see. She's not very talented. She's not very funny. She's not very interesting. She's not ugly, but she's certainly not hot. So it's just like, wow, like I don't want to say something like, what does he see in her? Because then you sound like one of that crazy guy that called here yesterday and said he was in the top.
Because we don't know, honestly.
Yeah, we don't know, and that didn't sound like a crazy fan. But I can say that I don't believe. I think this is more of a chuckle if she's just not so despised, and she's very easy to despise. There is nothing. I don't know why she gets a donation. Does she make people happy? Does she make them laugh? Is she's like, I know she got a bigger following than me, Like what does she do? I can't find it. It looks like she has a bunch of dumb takes and says a lot of shit about people that she shouldn't ever fucking say if she's not willing to back it up. And she doesn't strike, she doesn't strike me as a type that likes to throw down online. She strikes me as a kind of a punk. She likes to throw a punch and dip out, And I think a lot of people hate it. But go ahead, you were finished.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to hear. I apparently heard there was like some Holocaust comments or something she made in the past, but I have no idea, honestly, either. But
they're fucking hysterical. You want to hear it?
Yeah, sure. I guess so, yeah.
They're really, really, really funny. Who sent them to me? Like 20 people sent me this shit today.
I'm looking for it again.
It's painfully funny to listen to. Who the fuck sent me this?
That's a lot of money, I guess, for a person of color.
Thank you. Swastiko send me that. James, I'm going to read all these up. Tell me, have you seen Content Cuck? Idubbbz girlfriend exposed. Pure facts. It shows everything. Yeah. I don't know. I just like... I was always of the opinion, although I'm not fucking sure, that maybe she got more shit than she deserved because she was Idubbbz girlfriend, that they weren't fair to her.
This clip.
This is great. Hold on. Here's the thing is... keep Turkey Tom away from the room. He might leave his girlfriend. Here we go.
Is experimenting on 10 children to obtain a cure for thousands of kids' lives justified? That's a really hard question, and I think if people are being...
No, it's not.
God.
100% honest, they'd give you a different answer than what you're expecting. As terrible as the Holocaust was, obviously it was horrendous, and how disgusting the doctor was that did the experiments on people.
So you know the name, Dr. Mangala.
People, handicaps, twins. I think that's, and obviously they were obviously Jewish, or they did it on Jewish people. They found a couple of really groundbreaking discoveries through that experimentation.
Oh no! Oh,
Which, by the way,
Jesus
from
fucking
what I
Christ.
understand, that's an urban legend that she bought into. What was the urban legend I used to think was real? But it wasn't this stupid. You ever hear that thing? We only use 20% of our brain. We don't know why, but like if we ever learn to unlock the rest of our brain, it's bullshit. Use 100%.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
That's some Lucy stuff right there.
That's bullshit. Yeah, I believe that. I had a teacher tell me that. But it's a second grade teacher told me that, so she believed that urban legend too. I think she got some thing, and it's like she does. She looks dumb as a signpost when she said this. Some of the other things. This does look like it's from a long time ago. Does anybody know when this years is from? When is this from? Because she looks a lot younger here.
I think that was like 2016, 2017. Because that's before that she moved in with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is... But I don't know, you just like... Oh, I can't talk about my ex-wife. But my ex-wife said something fucking horrible once. But, you know, I used it in divorce court. But the time she said it, I looked the other way because I loved her so much. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
There you go. There you go. There you go. I'm only a man. Forgive me. I'm only a man. I do my best. All right, man. Anything else, bud?
No, nothing else. It was great talking to you, Tommy.
All right.
It's my first time ever, so yeah.
All right. Take care, bud. Thanks.
All right.
Nicolaus.
Hey.
What do you want?
In regard to that thing you were just talking about, I'm pretty sure she's mentioning the fact that during the Holocaust and during World War II, that's a better word, there were probably a lot of technological advancements, which always happens during wartime. You find that in almost every situation.
It's true. Yeah, but
I don't think I don't know the full context there. That's a very short clip.
She brings up the Holocaust on her own, so it's the beginning of the context. That's the unfortunate part. What she's mentioning, and then she also mentions that doctor, that would be Dr. Mangala. She doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. And
well, I would have to say that Tricky
old
Tom told me
legend
the full clip
that yes, what
bad.
Hitler did was awful, but they learned so much. But nobody can ever tell you what breakthrough they learned from the Holocaust, which there's nothing. There was no breakthrough.
Okay, all right, that's fair then. Again, I'm not on that whole thing.
So look,
if she's just saying wartime advancements or
I don't
wartime
think she
advancements,
hates
that's one
Jews.
thing.
I think she's stupid. And I think
yeah.
she's openly stupid often, and that's one of the reasons this blew up in his face. Because she is.
I wouldn't say this is like proof that she thinks the Holocaust was a good thing. Like Creep Show Art is saying. Creep Show Art saying that the Holocaust was a good thing. There's a clip of Boogie 2988 saying this exact same line.
It's a rock solid proof that she's painfully ignorant, and people hate that. People fucking hate that. And you know what? We all have our moments. That's one of the reasons I can't be mad at Idubbbz. I've had my moments online too. You know, like it's like Keemstar said, he took his first L.
So you ready for me to derail the whole stream?
Go ahead.
The Chris Hansen thing's over. It's done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we talked.
He put out the Twitter. No, I don't know if you know the very last part of it. He put out the Twitter video, right?
It's right here.
He explained how he's not going to be doing it.
I got it.
In the meantime, I'll remind you of something I said a while back. I was a reporter before he was born. I'll be a reporter after he goes to prison. Hopefully, where he won't have a lot of access to making those videos on the internet.
He's not going to jail, you fucking lying sack. But go ahead, Nick.
Well, funny story. Onision just dropped the emails where he said about 5 hours ago that he would have agreed to do it pre-recorded.
Oh my god!
And Chris doesn't mention that once. It's dude, this is done. This is Sodus. I have the quote. I agree to your terms of recording. Let's go do the interview. And then just before Chris puts out his statement, today is the day. Let's set it up. From Onision to the lawyer who has been contacting him for Chris Hansen for the whole weekend. Wow. So Chris comes out, makes a statement saying, I'm not going to do it live. I'm not going to just cuck to what he has to say. And people are defending him vehemently. Like, he doesn't have to do that. He's an investigator. He's a professional. He doesn't have to make any sacrifices. And Onision saying that he needs to be live. Onision's playing games. No. Onision requested you go on his live stream. He went, okay, I'll go on your show because Chris wouldn't do it. Okay, Chris, I'll go on your show, but you can't put ads on. Chris goes, fuck that. I'm making my money. And the internet explodes and goes, you grifter, you piece of shit, you grifter. So within 30 minutes, he cucked to it and he went, all right, fine. You can come on my show, but it's going to be pre-recorded. So Onision goes, what do you mean it's going to be pre-recorded? I just want to do an interview. And now all of a sudden it's fucking pre-recorded. So from somewhere on fucking Saturday to somewhere on Monday morning, he ends up going, fine, you know what? I'll just do it pre-recorded. And then Chris Hansen comes out and completely leaves that part out and says, I can't do it on my channel. And I have these anti-O accounts writing me saying all this crazy shit, like he's just gonna get on there and scream the N-word. And I'm like, well, dude, do you understand how a fucking community guideline strike works?
That would be great.
You know how a community guideline strike works? Okay, you get fucking 4 of them. There would be a warning. Do you think fucking Susan Wojcicki is gonna take down Chris fucking Hansen, who's pulling 30,000 viewers to 50,000 viewers a
some
fucking
guy yelled
night?
the N-word.
Because of Onision saying the N-word? Like, are you fucking kidding? And then I go, you know, why would Chris give a shit in the first place? His first channel was fucking taken down for community guidelines. The guy is ban evading right now. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's funny.
And then the other thing is, well, oh God, he doesn't want to do it live or whatever. I'm like, you're the guy who flew to Washington to fucking show up at this guy's door unannounced, and you're not gonna let him have an even playing field on YouTube? You disingenuous piece of shit.
It's over. I gotta take some calls.
It's over. All right, yeah, that's all I just wanted to say.
I gotta take some. No, you're 100% correct. Thank you, Nick Fioria.
No problem.
Stick around,
guys.
Let's see. I'm gonna take the guys leader Jack. I'm definitely see the Arabian Bibi. You're on the air.
It's Babe, but sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought you were,
so with the Anesian thing, I think it's fairly clear. Right towards the end, the line that kind of draws it in the sand, where Ian just decides, hey, you know what? Fuck it. Is where he's like, go fap to pictures of my girlfriend.
I don't know.
Does no one else find that extremely fucking weird? I wouldn't be going around going, "Hey guys, you see my girlfriend? Please go into your bedroom."
I don't know. I think
find a picture of her.
I think I wouldn't said it that way either, but I think it's different for guys in entertainment. Yeah.
No, man. Seems kind of cucky.
I think it would. I mean, if she was going out with some fucking model, would it seem as cucky? And she was, really?
Yeah, it would.
So the girl's got to get it. How do models have relationships with men under those rules? Exactly.
Simple. You don't have an OnlyFans.
You're like Joe DiMaggio, Marilyn Monroe. Like you're like these. Oh, you fucking. You know, you think every girl you marry's got to be a Virgin Mary. That's what happened to Joe DiMaggio. He married Marilyn Monroe, and then she acted like Marilyn Monroe after what turned him on about her to begin with, and she was like, "Oh, you can't do this. Be a housewife."
I don't remember Marilyn Monroe's boyfriends ever saying, "Please jack off to Marilyn." Oh my god.
No, well, saying that, but my point is, it's a little different when you're a celebrity, and we were just talking about if she had married a girl. I get it with her. It's weird with her because she's not a model. But if he was going out with a model, does she have to stop her career?
No. Again, it's different because he's telling people to jack off to her. Like, people are gonna do it anyway, but you're now telling.
I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, no, it's a little cocky. The other thing is, he was saying that in a relationship, both parties need to financially engage within the relationship, and then he compares it to like Jeff Bezos' son going to work to McDonald's.
I think people, no, but see,
McDonald's is a more respectable career choice than an OnlyFans account.
You start your own channel. You're pretty funny. I took that differently than everybody else. Everybody's saying that's a bad point. I thought it's like, look, when you're in a relationship, they're not married though, so maybe this is a little weird, right? You're in a relationship, somebody's gonna make more money. Usually the person with a better education. All right. So just because you could live off one of the two people doesn't mean you should. That's the way I took it.
I agree, but that doesn't mean, I'm going to start selling dick pics. Let's say my fucking wife is making stacks. She's working like top league Amazon, and then I'm like, honey, let me sell my nudes online.
Yeah.
She'll probably be like, you know what, hon? That's not a good idea. You should just go work McDonald's.
You know what it was.
At least
it sucks. My wife makes more money than me. All right. So you know what it was? Probably with her. I want to show him that I can make money, and this is the shortest. She probably made fucking 50, 60K off this like in a week.
Sure.
So, yeah, she did. So it's a weird thing, but it's like,
she only sacrificed most of her dignity. Then again, what dignity did she have to begin with? It's Aneesa fucking Germa.
Yeah, nobody really likes her, I noticed. But
so she sacrificed Ian's dignity in order to make
Ian
60K.
did that because no one had said shit. No, they would consider the simp jokes. They wouldn't. This video hurt. He could have joked about this. He could have let it slide. Could have let it run. That's not true. If he had not said a word, he'd been fine. And
she prohibited how many people should subscribe.
Because you could always say, because he could always back up and say, I don't fucking tell. I don't tell. I can't tell her what to do. Yeah.
No, of course not. But like Ian is himself also a person. Like, he can't control her, but he doesn't. That doesn't mean he has to latch himself onto her like a fucking.
What the fuck? He obviously he said he doesn't have a problem with her showing her nudes. You know,
right?
We both fucking know that you're talking from a PR perspective. You're not really talking from a reality perspective. In real life, in true life, he doesn't give a shit, right? What he did that was stupid is he gave you this visual explanation. If he said, do you have a problem with it? He goes, no, I don't have a problem with her fucking showing her nudes. It's a human body. What do I care? That's a lot different. Saying it that way is a lot different than, I don't care if you jerk off to her. That's the difference.
He said both. That's the thing. I'm pretty sure that this is actually.
Once you say it's okay to jerk off to my girlfriend, it doesn't matter how you put it prior. Come on, pal.
Well,
I mean, come on. Yeah.
He puts it both ways, though. He's like,
so
you know what? I don't care. You're not seeing anything different. At the same time, please jerk off to my girlfriend.
Look, come on. It's like me coming out. It's like, yes, we did have relations, and then I fucked her senseless in the asshole from behind. No one's going to remember that I said we had relations in the beginning of the fucking confession. They're going to remember the asshole part. Get it?
No. It's completely different equivalents, but sure.
How's your girlfriend doing?
She's doing all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Pamela or Angela?
I take good care of her.
Yeah.
You know.
Pamela or Angela? You take good care of her. Now I know you don't. I take good care of my girlfriend. You don't have a girlfriend. Nobody says that. You say you take good care of your wife or your kids. So you don't have a girlfriend, do you?
We've been.
Come on, it's okay. You're about 90% of the Idubbbz audience. So he's kind of right about you too.
In what way?
In the way I just said. Well, stop acting like you don't understand metaphors.
No, I just didn't hear you. Every time I talk, every time my mic goes off, I can't hear your mic.
That's weird. That's probably something on your end, sir, because
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. That's my bad.
All right. Well, that's fair enough. Well, I'll let you go there, sir. Thank you for the call.
All right.
I appreciate the argument.
Thank you for having me on.
Take care. Yeah, see,
I just sent you a tweet.
Yeah, from who?
From your boy, Killer Keemstar.
J Station. Just finished recording Mom's Basement with Banks and Mr. Beast. For some reason. Ooh.
I called it. I saw this coming.
This was
after last week.
Here's the thing, you know, when I was unbaited, right? And look, I am not rooting against Mom's Basement. Make $1 bazillion. From what I understand, those guys are doing great. I'm rooting for Banks. I'm rooting for Mom's Basement. I'm rooting for Key. All right. This fucking censorship thing was a big fucking deal. We kind of had an all or nothing rule on Baited, and we could argue and fight about it. But to cut him down like that, and Clown said that he was asking pretty reasonable questions. Like, apparently the whole thing came down to, you know, my boss is like the best boss ever. He's never talks about anything negative. He doesn't bring anything negative to the table. And Clown was like, look, I like Logan too, but that's not true.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a lot of stuff about Logan, I think.
Japanese forest, and they exchanged, and they cut all that out. So, and clearly, Colossal doesn't believe that, clearly, Colossal doesn't believe that Mike didn't get his shit taken out. Like, Mike claims, I only asked to take like 2 or 3 lines out. Does anybody believe that? I believe Colossal's crazy. I believe my friend, and I've never seen, like, you know, he's one of the most ethical people I know when it comes to this shit. So, when you treat him unethically, I'm not surprised he didn't show up. You know, and, you know, Clown, like, he did an interview on my show 4 years ago. He grew up filthy rich. You can't bribe him with money. You know, so the being able to speak, the freedom to speak, and not to be cut out, to made to look like an idiot, is much more important to him than any dime he's going to make on that show. And that's not me dumping on Keem or Banks, and I know we both have history, or Mom's Basement, or jealous that Baited ended 4 fucking years ago. That's me just saying my friend Colossal doesn't appreciate that shit. And I also know him like this. He might have just fucking forgot, because he is not the most responsible person when it comes to be making dates, and being on time of everybody I met. He's ethical, but he's not showing up on time and crossing every T, dotting every I. He wings it a lot, but he is an ethical person. So it could be just fucking slept in, knowing him. Yeah, this is just the way he is. What else we got? The Digi Boy. Let's put Jack on. Jack's on fire, home from school.
Yeah, Tommy, it's been a long time since I've called in.
I know you're not squeaking anymore.
Oh,
you're gonna start fucking pulling shit in the. You start posting articles now.
Yeah, right. I want to refute one of the things that you said earlier. You said how Idubbbz wasn't talking to his. He was talking to his fan base like shit.
Yeah, he was.
That was the point that you. That was the point that you made. But if he didn't, like, this is the character that he's put across for years. Do you think if he did it any differently?
Yes.
I think he would be getting backlash because of his fans saying that
I could prove it right now because he wasn't getting backlash up until serious backlash. He was getting jokes on the internet that are already dying up until that video. He did not have to address it. So I'm sorry, that destroys what you're saying. It was going away. People were forgetting about it. It was a week ago. There's no way. There's jokes, and he handled it well right off the bat. I remember covering it in the show. He made some fucking tweet that was really, really funny when it first broke. What the fuck was it?
Oh, the Mr. Sim thing. No,
yeah, that was funny. He made fun. He took a shot at himself. He was doing fine. Let's see.
Well, you know what? I believe if I had to do a tinfoil hat theory, that it was his girlfriend who just went fucking sort him out. You know, like that. You know that type of thing.
Well,
I don't believe.
I tell you what, he's got a relationship problem if that's the case. But I'm not getting into that. That's a little too personal for my time.
Yeah. Well, she don't seem like the nicest person. Like I don't know. Before.
She seems like a nasty person, but you don't know what she's like behind the scenes.
Well, Idubbbz isn't the nicest person. It's probably good together.
Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Maybe that's it. But what I was saying is that if he did do the video, we can argue that he shouldn't. Or actually, after watching the stream, I agree with you that the video was a bad idea. He should have just left, and people would have forgot about it. Sure. There would have been jokes, like you said. But
let me give you a perfect fucking example. Lieutenant Cobra. I told him he's going to be found dead by his fucking father, and I hope it happens because he's such a piece of little shit. And, of course, he took the Italian soccer player's way out and fucking said, oh, my God, he said this about me and my fucking whole family, blah, blah, blah. What? And how did I handle it? I didn't.
I can't remember. Yeah, you didn't. You just left it.
I did. And if it went on rewind, it would have just been the old guy that was fucking this poor, innocent 17-year-old. You know, it's not like he's fucking 12. Or 11 or 9 or anything, and it just went away, and I don't care because I generally hate the kid, and I don't care if he's breathing more or not. So that's where it's coming from. But if I sat there and lectured my fans, and I took some backlash about how dare you come after me? That kid called my little son a Nazi. That's fucking a death sentence. He should know that.
Fuck you put me down.
He's fucking Idubbbz. He's better than me. He's better than me. He's better than like a lot of guys combined. All our fucking YouTube heroes. And Jack, me and you have a lot of the same fucking YouTube heroes. You know? So he gotta know better. I still like him. I don't give a shit if girls start.
My opinion hasn't changed on him.
But people are gonna look at you. Look, if Idubbbz came out and said, you know what, I'm bisexual, he would be getting shit right now. If Idubbbz comes out and says, I don't care if you jerk off to naked pictures of my girlfriend, he's gonna get shit right now. Bottom line, that rubs people the wrong way.
Was that
not ready. Yes, that was the thing. It's what he said. It did two things. It gave the fucking troll. It fed the trolls, and then the really uptight, fucking virtue signaling, fucking right wing guys that the worst thing in the world that you could be in this life is a cuck that can't get girlfriends, that have no relationships, and are frustrated women. He fucking divided both of them at the exact same time. It was like stars lining up. Oh, it's not the other. It was like stars lining up when Christ was born. And he did it right around the time the simp meme took off that had nothing to do with him to begin with. He literally, like, I don't know. I don't know how he thought this was going to go any better than it did. You know?
I think it's because, has Idubbbz really handled this much criticism in his career ever?
No.
Or has he always... He's never had really controversy, so I think this is
his first L.
chance of dealing with
First
it.
L.
And I think he's done it badly.
He did it bad because he loves his girlfriend, and he fucking wants to keep her, and you know, it's none of your fucking business. But the problem is you can't say it's none of your fucking business. You can't do it. It is, and he's right. It's none of your business. It doesn't make him any worse, in my opinion, and probably any sane person's opinion, that he doesn't care that his girls jerk off to his girlfriend. All right? It really doesn't. But that's what sane people. Sane people don't watch Idubbbz. They're young, frustrated, and usually a bunch of shitlords themselves. That's what he's cultivated. To sit there and go to that group, and now, after you said horrible things about e-girls in the past, after your girlfriend has said horrible things about e-girls, and not only e-girls said horrible things about fucking OnlyFans girls, or people that use that site, and now you're like, fuck you, you don't even know me, like he's a valley girl from California, this is going to end not so good. And I just can't believe he didn't see it. But you know what I think? I think everybody has a bad fucking day, and I think he's a great entertainer, and I'm looking forward to most, and I hope he doesn't triple down. That's all.
Yeah.
I got him confused with Tears of Fire. I thought it was Jack's. It's Jack's on Fire. I forgot. Yeah.
Jack is on fire. Yeah.
Jack.
What I think the best response one was PewDiePie, because PewDiePie made the point about so porn stars can't have girlfriends, boyfriends, and is it really that different? Because Logan Paul's best friend, Mike's dating Lana Rhoades right now, and no one said a thing about it.
Yeah, but Logan and them are kind of scumbaggy. I mean, Logan was fucking Jake Paul's girlfriend. They have a reputation for this. Logan doesn't go out of his way to call other fucking women whores.
So is it the hypocrisy which has really got him?
It's the hypocrisy, and these kids thought Idubbbz was one of them, and he's probably grown and changed over the years.
All right, thank you, Tommy.
I think that he's grown and changed. He probably realized, like, man, I started to realize in my late 20s that the slut standard I held on women was just fucking stupid. That they're human beings, and you know what? Girls are going to make a lot of mistakes with sex, especially when they're young, and that's normal and not abnormal. That's actually normal. That's how you find out what you like, who you like, and what you don't like. It's those awkward years between 18 and 20-something that you find out about your own sexuality, all right? And then, no, that's unspoken at the time because it's too embarrassing to talk about. When you're just about to hit 30, you can kind of reflect on that and not be as judgmental. And that's what a lot of the people I'm talking to right now in the chat don't understand. Like, this is the time to be weird about sex. This is the time to fuck up and do something embarrassing. If you're doing it when you're 30, you really have a problem, you know? Look, I've been Europeanized when it's come to views, not English, Central European, when it comes to views on sex and women. And, you know, I grew up with a little more prudy type American, and I've kind of like combined the two. And I think the more liberal version is just better and healthier at the end of the day. I don't think we should judge women and men on the stupid sexual mistakes they make as they grow into adults. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I would agree. I just hope Idubbbz coming back from this, and I hope he has an amazing career from the years to come.
He'll be great. He'll be great.
He will be. All right, thank you, Tommy.
Take care of yourself out there with the virus. And
yeah, thank you. You too, mate.
Yeah. All right. I thought that was a pretty good speech.
It's pretty good.
Leader.
How are we doing, Tommy?
Tell me, buddy. You tell me.
So, all right. So I'm not 100% here with this argument yet, Tommy. But for the purpose of like a good show, I'll give it to you. I'll give you the up version of this. So the hype version. This wasn't an L for Idubbbz.
What?
This was a cash out.
You think? How so?
Well, think about it. He bought the boobs for the he bought the upgrade. The outrage happened. He let it swell through, and he comes out with this video. And like the video was basically like everyone's like scratching their heads because no one sort of like it's very like it's anti Idubbbz. It doesn't sort of like it more like encourages the haters than than takes it away. It seems to be like a massive L. But if he was done with this YouTube, or he was getting to the point where he was done and he just wanted to make some money, I mean, like OnlyFans would be a good way to start. This could be the Idubbbz cash out plan.
It's cash out for what? 40K, 50K, 100K? I don't know, man.
Oh,
these guys.
Well, I mean,
you have no idea.
I mean,
dude, these guys hold their reputations up in such high regard. These big, super big YouTubers. It's so important to them. That's very difficult for me to digest with my experience in the last couple of years. You know.
Well, I
doubt he'd want to.
There was like,
who wants to go out as
sorry,
simp?
there was.
Who wants to go out as simp? You know, because that's how he went out. That's how he cashed out. There's no other way to cash out other than to have everybody remember you as the guy that said it was okay to jerk off to his girlfriend.
This could just be like part one of like, you know,
So
like this could be the starting
like a Tana
stage of cashing
Mojo
in.
fucking 3D, 4D chess move. I hope you're right. You're probably wrong.
Yeah, probably. But there is like what was it?
You're getting tinfoil Tommies in the chat, by the way. But Banana Grabber is a fuckhead, a new Twitch subscriber. Thanks so much, man. Banana Grabber coming back after a while. Thank you so much. Oh, somebody sent me a game. Was it you, Banana Grabber? Did you send me the game yesterday? Somebody sent me a game on first time in a long time on Steam, and I do appreciate it. And I'm going to play it. It's called it's one of those story games, like it said, Life is Weird or some shit like that. And I might check it out. It's kind of like good SJW.
That's a lot of money, I guess,
I'll check it out. It might
for
be
a
funny.
person of color.
This dude. All right. Anything else? I want to get to the
Yes.
last two.
How
Go ahead.
is Leafy coming? So Leafy's making a video on
I
this
guess he's
item
gonna
shit,
make me
right?
look stupid. I guess I was wrong. It looks like, according to Keemstar, he's coming back, and I guess that means Keemstar's been really pushing him to do it. So, yeah, sure. I think he got the video from me first because he did write me back and he reacted to it. When he got the money, when he got the message, the Idubbbz thing. I think it's gonna be very interesting if he comes back. I think it's a small chance that he defends Idubbbz in the next video, which would be kind of funny in my book. You know. I think Leafy's. I don't think Leafy's pure. I don't know. I'm not going into that, but you know, it'd be awful funny. Or then maybe Leafy comes back and just clobbers him for old time's sake. Who fucking knows? That would be hysterical. Yeah, everybody wants him to go like, oh my god, this guy's like such a hypocrite. Hey guys, I can't believe this. I've been gone for so long. So this idiot guy Idubbbz, who thinks he like runs the internet, I'm jerking off his girlfriend right now. You know? Yeah.
You could do that. That'd be horrible. Imagine
and everybody
Leafy
knows I
fires
can
up,
do it because my own dick
with, like
pics
her
on it.
nudes in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he could have. I think people want that. People really want that.
Oh boy.
Sure. All right, get out of here, Leafy. Talk to you later.
One more thing.
Jesus, you never get off on two. Go.
I know. All right, so like just to like add to my first point, right? It was sort of like Keemstar. You were talking to Keemstar the other day, the drinking stream. Keemstar did mention that the revenue that he was getting was like not that great, and there was like YouTubers coming out who were like sometimes equaling the revenue he got from this as well. So that's sort of like I just wanted to like throw that in with the first argument I made. With this whole like this could be a cash out thing. That's it. Thanks, Tommy, for having me on.
Thank you. It's not a cash out. I'm cashing you out. It's not a cash out. I just don't think he'd go out there. He's too smart. I think people are just trying to like, maybe if this is some kind of 4D move, I'll be like, if Leafy restarts his career, I don't think it's a restart.
That's a lot of
He's gonna do
money,
it
I guess, for
on the
a
back
person
end.
of
Doesn't
color.
make him look super pathetic after 4 years of disappearance. No.
That's what I was about to refer
No.
to. Somebody asking that.
It doesn't. Leafy is now
Because he's indirectly involved with this, with the old Idubbbz, you know,
Yeah.
and compared to how this new video makes Idubbbz look.
If I had to guess, look, Leafy fought content. Like he had two choices: shut his mouth or go right after fucking content cop, right, and risk a content deputy. And he chose to go down swinging. He chose to go down swinging. And remember, right after the content cop, Nick Cash happened. So it's the thing is on YouTube, when it rains, it pours. You know, you find out your girlfriend's selling nudes. Next thing you know, she's saying nice things about the Nazis during the Holocaust. You know, it's just YouTube's. We've seen this so many times on this channel. Where it's never just one thing. You know, it's always like a series of incidents. So, yeah, what the fuck was I talking about? Let's get these last people in. I'm getting tired here. And I want to play. Think, oh, that beautiful Italian girl is in there. I love beautiful Italian women. All right. You ready to go? No. All right. He's definitely
Nope.
not. Mira, you got chicks left. Oh, she's gone.
And left.
And left. What are they? We have like problems? Is there like a permissions issue we have here? Because everyone's allowed in here.
This shit, no, I don't see any issue.
Yeah, I don't see nothing here. I'm checking. All right, Miri, you're on the air, but you got to turn on your microphone, sweetheart. Otherwise, I'm gonna put on my Italian girlfriend, and my Italian girlfriend is on.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, great. How are you? What's on your mind, sweetie?
I was thinking, based on the last time I was on, I heard a little bit of your conversation with Kim, then I had to check out. But he said that they were probably gonna go ahead and milk the situation for as much as it was worth, for promo, for the podcast, for that kind of stuff. So how high is the chance that he's just fucking with people?
Well, you
That it's like,
you and Leader ought to go bowling. Really unlikely because, like, all right. Here's what this is a little bit of speculation on my part. There's commentators and there's commentators like Nerd City and fucking Idubbbz and Clown. All right, these guys care very deeply how they're viewed, and they're good at cultivating that image because the image of being smart because they are smart. They are smart people in general, and they see themselves as like. That's why Nerd City sits there and swings and fight when you find a little, a year and a half ago we found an error, what we thought was an error at the time, and just. How he cared so much he came on my show unannounced when he said he wasn't going to come on that week. Anyway, after Nick did a video on him and then complained profusely about how Nick was and complained profusely that I put a versus fucking in the thumbnail. These guys want to be seen a certain way and they don't want anybody to be able to question them. Clowns like that to some extent. I think it's important to him that he's seen as somebody that is ultra ethical, and I think that Idubbbz more than likely, and I don't know him, falls in that category as well. And I just don't. Is he capable of pulling a mega stunt? Yeah. But what's the punchline then? What's $100 grand?
Well,
how much could he got more than $100 grand for this? How much?
Tune in the next podcast, right?
Yeah.
Because you expect a big blowout about Clown not showing up to work, while actually Clown is there, and he's just went on. They just clowned on the internet.
Clown, if I had to guess, Clown didn't show up for two reasons. He slept in because he's fucking irresponsible, or he's afraid he doesn't trust anybody over there anymore, which is reasonable, considering what.
Fair enough.
That's too. But Clown's a little fucking lazy. He just is. I love him to death. And they need to treat him correctly over there. And they need to treat him correctly by allowing his points to be fairly represented. And I don't, and like nothing makes Clown crazier. And that goes back to what I was saying. Like, why is Clown mad that his voice came in? Because it makes him look petty and stupid. If you listen to the whole conversation, which Keem and apparently Banks admit to, he doesn't sound petty and stupid. So it makes him mad. So he didn't show up. I'm guessing. I don't know. We'll find out. Clown says he wants to come.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with either part, so I'm not sure what their characters are. But I would imagine if there was a big blowout or if Clown ghosted them, somebody would have surely told the other to fuck off publicly. Like, you're a piece of shit, fuck off, never working with you ever again.
Clown's passive aggressive.
Okay, got it.
He's passive aggressive. You're Italian. You're actually aggressive.
No, we're pretty much
that's not the way
very in your face kind of people.
No, Clown doesn't want to have those. No, I don't see him being in that. I don't know. Did you know me, Keem, and Clown were on a podcast 3 years ago? I don't think you do.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of got this reputation in the commentary community. Yeah, it was all three of us. And I've literally worked with him on a podcast. That's why so many people are asking me questions about that. You might want to catch the show. It's called Baited.
I'm trying to catch up on internet culture.
Yeah, well, Baited's a good place to start. And the great thing about Baited is, at least until I leave, it's actually a story of 2016. It's actually quite cool. So I highly recommend it.
Okay, check it out. Okay, have a good night.
Take care. Bye-bye. Buonanotte. Buonanotte.
Notte.
Okay, bye-bye. Is Miri okay? Miri! Oh, why is she doing that? Such a cunt.
Immediately.
Like, what is she getting kicked out? She's not sending me messages.
Probably a mobile thing.
Yeah,
if I had to guess.
She doubled down on Twitter yesterday for some. Really? She doubled down on that? Send me that. Did she really double down? Like, what great was Discovery was like, What great discovery did Nazis learn cutting little Jewish twins' nuts off? Because that's what I saw when I went to the Holocaust Museum. Sorry to put that in your head. What was learned? What did I miss? Is she really?
Let's see.
So I have somebody. They're sending me this thing with her. She doubled down on these fucking comments. Are you kidding me? That can't be true. It's one thing. She might be so fucking arrogant. This makes her really unlikable.
Is experimenting on 10 children to obtain a cure for thousands of kids' lives.
What was her wrong with her tits to begin with? I don't know.
Lives justified. That's a really hard question, and I think if people are being 100% honest, they'd give you a different answer than what you're expecting. As terrible as the Holocaust was, obviously...
What makes you an expert, by the way?
It was horrendous, and how disgusting the doctor was that did the experiments on people, gay people.
You don't even know the fucking doctor.
Handicaps, twins. I think that's... and obviously, they were obviously Jewish.
Wiggers,
they did on Jewish people. They found a couple of really groundbreaking discoveries through that experiment.
Name one.
Experimentation.
It's horse shit.
I just sent you this.
She didn't know the name of the doctor, and she didn't know those groundbreaking discoveries. Let's see. Is this real? I can't tell. This is weird. I need a link. Oh,
I sent it to you on Twitter.
Oh, you found
it? Or on
it?
Discord.
Let's see. Aneesa Joma. I didn't say the Holocaust was that bad. No, she didn't write that. You sent me the same thing?
I sent you the tweet where she said that's not all what I said. The full context of that clip is talking about the butterfly effect.
I got two here. That's not the full context of what I said. The clip is talking about the butterfly effect and why it's scary to mess with the past. That it was horrible. No, you said that there was some no. You said they had learned something from these horrible experiments. That they're horrible. I like she's writing back to @JewGirl. That's funny.
Yeah, ironic.
Let's see. They're not that out of context. I'm sorry. COVID pandemic is going on, and some of you are acting like my pussy being exposed on the internet is a real tragedy. Well, that's a good point. I'm more concerned with the shit that I learned about you after this drama. Jew girl, what have you learned? And then embarrassment seeps in. Aneesa, that I'm not perfect, and there are plenty of out-of-context clips. This is how I know she's a psychopath. I'm not perfect, followed by it's not by fault. You sound like every psycho girlfriend I ever had. Of me saying shit live that can be warped into problematic. You need to name the groundbreaking medical thing. For all I know, Dr. Mengele discovered the cure for the coronavirus in 1940-2. Jesus, what a mongoloid. You said the Holocaust was bad because human testing the Germans did on unwilling tortured people. That's not what she said. That's not what I said. The full context of the clip was talking about the butterfly effect and why it's scary to mess with the past. Yeah, we might have those really scary discoveries, those scary important discoveries that you can't name. Oh God, what a brainlet. And I don't use those fucking words often. That's brain dead. Holy Christmas. And she can't take responsibility. Oh God, poor Idubbbz. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey, LePlume, you're a big fucking Nazi. Do you know the wonderful discoveries that the Nazis made by cutting little German boys' nuts off? Because I'd like to know. Is he writing in there? I said, nah, that's all bullshit. Well, he'll probably say it never happened.
God.
I guess we should.
Apparently, Mary's mic works. Vault said he
Joseph
checked it.
Mengele tried to
she was
create
talking.
conjoined twins. Yeah, that just sounds like a fucking sick fucking horror movie. Like, what did we learn from that though? They know where cum comes from. Yeah, it comes from fucking pictures of big titty girls. Big plastic fake tits. Look up V2, the Third Reich, the fountain of discoveries and adventures, some of which no doubt relate to harsh experimentation. Can you name one groundbreaking discovery The charts are developed in Dachau still provide some of the most comprehensive data describing end-staged. Okay, hold on. Hypothermia. Oh God. So we learn more about hypothermia, which is of course what, freezing to death, because they probably threw him in. Okay, that's one, I guess. Why is that groundbreaking and so fucking important? I mean, we fully admit that we didn't know it before then. Like, what was it? What did we learn? And what changes were made because of that wonderful announcement? Toastman tried to change the eye color of our prisoners. Yeah, I know that. And wait, I'm only made him go blind. Oops. Oh, allegedly. Well, LePlume's a fucking right-wing wacko. He's impossible to take seriously. But Google Nazi dots. Yeah, so well, I don't know. I think she's nuts. Here's the thing. If for some reason there was some badass cancer-curing discovery when they were torturing little Jewish boys and girls, and great stuff like, hey, hypothermia doesn't kill you the way we thought it did. It kills you a whole different way. Wow, that's groundbreaking. We needed to know that. Still kills you. We learned freezing people is bad.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, freezing people hurts. Groundbreaking.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's really, really, really cold. Plume was a commie. No, he's not a commie. He doesn't like commies. Aneesa just reached out to Repsion for an interview. Really? Oh boy, now the pressure's on Reps.
Repsion saying if he wouldn't have taken him to court, he probably would have done it.
Reps he might have now. That might be a legit out for him.
Well, he said he was going to pursue legal action still, so that's why he's not doing it.
Yeah, you can't do it. So it says something on there. It could go there. So he gets off the hook. You're just going to sue me. Go fuck yourself. You used it against me in court. You said I'm fucking doing this, that, and the other thing. No, old Aneesion's feeling pretty fucking cocky. Pretty cocky. Pretty cocky. The Nazis learned that when you throw hot coals on people, it burns the skin quicker than once thought. Yeah. I would say the Nazis found out when you gas people to death, it hurts a lot more than they initially thought.
You can't breathe as long as you thought you could.
Groundbreaking stuff. Here's what she said. Fucking groundbreaking. None of this sounds groundbreaking. Cryotherapy. Well, how come I don't know what cryotherapy is and how important it is? The fuck's cryotherapy? Groundbreaking.
That's where you go and get in the.
It's groundbreaking. They broke people and stuck them in the ground.
Basically, freeze yourself.
Is that like?
It's got medical
what do
stuff.
we use that for? Oh, they do.
Apparently, it's got medical stuff for it. Yeah, it can give you energy and like it helps your immune system and all that shit. Apparently,
I wrote cryotherapy. Told me about COVID-19. Cryotherapy, safely, what to expect, and the benefits. And you can relate this to You can connect this to Dr. Mangala. I bet this.
I don't know, but
I bet this is fringe.
Well, I mean, you've heard the stories about after World War II. A lot of the top Nazi not generals, but scientists and all that went to NASA and helped the NASA space program.
Oh, yeah,
and that's how they got to
I'm not
space.
saying they didn't have smart people over there. I want to know about cutting kids' nuts off. How the benefits were for society. And
that I've never heard of. That's out there.
Yeah, that's what she was talking about. It wasn't out of context. She brought up the context of the Holocaust. You know, she was basically trying to turn it into, we were talking about if Hitler was a baby, should I shoot him in the baby carriage? No, you're talking about the great discovery of that doctor, Dr. Mangala. He got away with it too. You know, they never got it. They never caught him. What are the benefits of cryotherapy?
Red Cross gave him a license after.
This is like the fucking magnet thing, I bet. Extreme cold can improve mental health. And this sounds like so fucking. So this is what we got from the Nazis? Bunch of fucking hippies freezing their nuts off? Great. This is groundbreaking. Wow, LePlume.
Joe Rogan says everybody should do it.
I'm so wrong. This is not the worst fucking thing on the planet. I mean, yeah, this was totally worth some fucking twins nutsack. Yeah, I'm so glad. Bunch of rich people freezing their balls off by half-wit fucking quack doctors. Cryotherapy. I wish you would take some cryotherapy. You know what? I wish you would take some bridge therapy, like jump off of one. I heard it could be really like therapeutic to fucking hit the water at fucking 90 miles an hour. How about that? All right,
your boy in the waiting to call, Kite, says he has an answer for you.
Oh,
I don't know what it is.
I don't
but
believe him either. What's your answer?
Okay, Mengele found out that if you cut the balls out of the children, they
have
can't
no
make
balls?
any more children later in life.
Jesus.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
That explains it.
Thanks. We always
Eureka!
Eureka. TOS heinous. Oh man. Go cry about it. Go to Mediger. Report me.
There you go. Jeff says cryotherapy is used for pain.
What was it? Check my channel if you hate Muslims. Well, this is. Oh God, Worship still sending me stuff.
I don't actually know if Mengele actually found anything.
I don't know either. Well, apparently cryogenic. I don't know. You know what? It's impossible to fucking find out. If something you know what? Something tells me this probably is, but it's not groundbreaking, and it's not that important, and we could have done without it, or it would have been figured out anyway. You know, I can't imagine there was ever a good reason to do this shit. What did she say in the beginning? This is funny to me. Like this is a no-brainer to me, but hey, what do I know? Watch this again. This is fascinating.
Is experimenting on 10 children to obtain a cure for thousands of kids' lives justified?
No. Because we don't farm people, you fucking ignorant twat. No.
Well, I mean, you know that there's 10 parents out there somewhere that would sign their kids up for that shit, though.
Yeah, fucking like Lieutenant Cobra's dad. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. What do you think?
It's about that time.
All right, you Nazi fuckers and whatever it is you guys do. Oh boy,
this is the almighty infinite.
That's a lot of money, I guess.
Devil fighting, rebel titan, weed smoking alchemist. Fake identities, okay, you cool with Jason Bourne. Running with these Wolverines, okay, you about to catch a storm. I ain't never been a liar, got tired of niggas playing me. Head in my legs like she about to catch a pedigree. Chi-town, the King's home, slapping fives, black stones. 6 mile to danger zones, bullets look like waffle cones. Folk affiliated the evolution of Machiavelli. Don't make me lead them eagles to you like I'm Chip Kelly. They feel my struggle, I express it through my hip-hop. I'm about to make it hard to breathe, here's a headlock.
Why the fuck you stream that shit?
Hey, Mary, are you there?
Yeah.
All right, show's over.